Hi, I'm Boyd Hilton from Heat Magazine. Welcome to BAFTA HQ in London, where we're talking about the House of Fraser BAFTA Television Award nominations. I've got a wonderful panel of expert TV journalists with me here. We've got Sharon Marshall from This Morning. Hi, Sharon. Mike Mulvihill from the Daily Mail. And Alexia Skinitis from the Radio Times, Her Majesty's Radio Times, who've also co-sponsored the Audience Award, which we'll talk about at some point, these 6 nominations, which we help decide which will be voted for by the public, and you can vote for those as and when you want. But I think let's talk about the big kind of nominees, the ones that got the most numbers of nominations. And really, to start with, we've got to talk about Wolf Hall, which has got 10 nominations overall if you include the Craft Awards. So there's the TV nominations and the Craft Awards, 6 Craft Awards and 4 nominations. Peter Kay's Car Share and This Is England also got 3 nominations each. Does that, Sharon, do you think those reflect the big hitters of the TV year?
Well, Wolf Hall was the big drama that everyone was talking about, but I'm just so thrilled for Peter Kay with that number. It's actually 4 if you bring in the Audience Award. We all sat there and in the discussion we said it was just the most fabulous, new, original and perfect piece of writing. So I'm so pleased that something new is there as well. But yeah, Wolf Hall was always going to be the big name that was coming up here, wasn't it?
Yeah, Wolf Hall was kind of like a huge, big period drama based on a classic novel and, you know, kind of dripping with authenticity and quality. Mike, did you like it? Do you think it deserves this number of nominations?
Absolutely loved it. Thought it brought the book to life wonderfully, beautifully evocative, fantastic performances, which are reflected here. I mean, we have a Oscar winner now, Mark Rylance, now on the BAFTA list. Very well deserved. Had a ready-made audience, but I don't think it let anyone down. Just a fabulous all-round show, and really can't wait for Hilary Mantel to write the next one so we can see the sequel.
Alexia, there's a big contrast, isn't there, in these 2 kind of giants of the drama section, if you like, with Wolf Hall and This Is England. They couldn't be more different in a way. Did you like both of those? Do you think both of those deserve these number of nominations?
Oh, I'm really pleased that This Is England is on there, because it does reflect a completely different audience, and that's really, really good, because Wolf Hall kind of appealed to that BBC One or BBC Two kind of mainstay audience, but then you've got This Is England in there for the younger generation who kind of absolutely loved it, and it kind of came to an amazing climax. So it deserves to be there.
I think it's fitting as well, if it is its last series, which it is heavily rumoured to be. I don't know if that's been confirmed, but I think for an award for its overall arc of every series, I think it's a very worthy nod for that, because it has been brilliant for many years.
I was going to say, you say younger audience. We were young when we started watching it, but we've all got old as well, and it's been that appointment to view over the year, and it's a programme and writing that has never ever let us down, has it?
I felt young watching it again, going back to the 1990s and the raves and stuff, but we won't go
But
there.
the performances in that were brilliant as well, in a complete different way. But
well, let's talk about the acting categories, because there's a lot of newcomers. First of all, for example, in supporting actress, Chanel Cresswell has been nominated for This Is England, first-time nominee. I think all of these are first-time nominees. Eleanor Worthington-Cox for The Enfield Haunting, which is on Sky. Leslie Manville, she's been nominated in film BAFTAs, but not for TV, for her role in River, which was great on BBC One. I'm really excited about this. Michelle Gomez has been nominated for her role as Missy in Doctor Who. I know you're a huge Doctor Who fan, Mike.
Absolutely
excited?
Massive. Well, I'm very excited, because I think she has been wonderful in it, and she has been underrated in it. I mean, her performance is fabulous in it, and she is an equal to the Doctor in it, and she really has made this series and stepped into a very difficult role and really, using a cliche, made it her own. I mean, it's been absolutely fabulous.
It's rare for a Doctor Who actor, I think, to be nominated.
Absolutely.
That's exciting. Supporting actor, by contrast, is full of kind of legends, really. Yeah. Anton Lesser for Wolf Hall, Cyril Henry, very excited about this for Cucumber. He was fantastic in Cucumber. Ian McKellen for The Dresser, and Tom Courtenay. These are giants of acting, aren't they? This is incredible.
Absolute legends. It's going to be really, really hard to choose between them. I don't know how they're going to, because Ian McKellen was brilliant. Tom Courtenay is always amazing somehow. So yeah, I don't know how they're going to pick somebody in there.
Yeah. And Cyril Henry was in that episode of Cucumber, which was all about his life. From birth to death, was one of the greatest episodes of TV ever, I think, wasn't it?
It was so beautifully written that I did ring up and beg for the script just to get it for for clues. It was one of those moments where it had been a series that at first it probably received a little bit of criticism because of the way that it intertwined between the 3 series. But it was that episode, I think it was episode 8, wasn't it? Where
6, I think.
Was it 6? There we go. I love it more than Cucumber fan than me. When I had the script but not the number, where it was a flashback through his life, so beautifully written, and I'm not surprised that's the result. I'm slightly surprised that Cucumber isn't nominated aside from that.
Although we should say, I know that Russell T Davies is nominated in the writing category in the Craft Awards.
Well, there you go.
So there you go.
He is a legend, and it was as perfectly written in the flesh as it was there. And I just want to say, nice to see the girls, by the way, Michelle in Doctor Who. The girls made it, and the boys didn't.
Yes,
so there we go.
So the two big acting categories, leading actor and leading actress. The interesting thing, leading actor, Ben Whishaw for London Spy, Idris Elba for Luther, Mark Rylance for Wolf Hall, and Stephen Graham for This Is England 90. And then in the actress, Claire Foy, Wolf Hall, Ruth Madeley for Don't Take My Baby, Sheridan Smith, of course, has to be nominated
every year.
for The C Word, and Saran Jones for Dr. Foster. What do you feel about those, Mike? Are you excited about those categories?
I'm excited. I thought that Sheridan Smith was probably the female performance of the year, but it was a very strong subject matter. She played a cancer victim beautifully, broke all our hearts, and obviously was unrecognisable playing, lost her hair, so something that she doesn't, that we don't see very often, an actress doing, very exposed. So I thought that performance was excellent. But also, Saran Jones in Dr. Foster played something that normally is a sympathetic character on television, but it was very sour and unsympathetic, and that was quite a brave performance to take that on. So I thought she deserves a nod for that. And in a leading actor, you've got Hollywood stars there, you've got big names again, who are just showing the gap between film and TV is narrowing every year with, Ben Whishaw in London Spy, I would like to see, because I thought that was a fantastic performance, and again, a very brave performance.
Sharon, what do you think about it's a contrast again? You've got your period dramas, you've got your kind of sexy modern drama with London Spy, detective drama, Luther. It's a good spread, isn't it?
I tell you, detectives are doing very well this year. It's obviously the in thing if you want a BAFTA nomination. I know you're saying Sheridan is always there, and that would be the obvious performance, but I was absolutely right with Saran Jones in Dr. Foster. I think she properly came of age, if it sounds like the right thing to say as an actress. I thought she was magnificent. So what was the line? I feel like I'm a wolf tonight. Maybe she will be on the night as well. Take that award, girl. And of course, she's just had a first child as well. So a bit of a good year for
another former Corrie with
the soap girls are proving how it can be done.
Strong,
Alexia, what's your feeling about the actor category, particularly Ben Whishaw, Idris Elba, Mark Rylance, and Stephen Graham?
I thought Mark Rylance was absolutely brilliant. So I mean, he could do the double and he won a film BAFTA, didn't he? So he could, I think, probably take both. But there's no Aidan Turner, which I thought was slightly disappointing, because I did love him in Poldark.
Because he had his shirt off a lot. I think
that shouldn't disqualify you from being
maybe
in the
a new BAFTA category for shirtless performance next year.
Well, yeah.
Best use of the side.
Here's an interesting fact. Sheridan Smith and Ben Whishaw won the leading actor and actress category in the same year in 2013 for Mrs. Biggs and for Richard III, The Hollow Crown, respectively. So if they both won again, it would be a replay of 2013.
Yeah,
extraordinary.
Each other's good luck charm.
Well, we keep an eye on it in 3 years' time. Maybe it could be some sort of cyclical thing.
And don't forget, we've got Poldark in the Audience Award, so you can.
We do have Poldark in the Audience Award,
I mentioned for Michaela Cole, who's done incredibly well with Chewing Gum, which has been nominated for scripted comedy. She's also got the Breakthrough Talent Award in Craft, and she's been nominated for comedy acting. What an incredible time for her. She's an extraordinary talent.
Absolutely. I mean, as soon as she dropped onto the screen, you were immediately like, wow, who is this? I wasn't really aware of her before Chewing Gum, and as soon as you saw her, you thought, wow, this is a future star, if not a current star. Amazing performance.
Fellow nominees for female performance in the comedy programme, she's joined by Miranda Hart for Miranda, Sean Gibson for Car Share, and Sharon Horgan for Catastrophe. It seems a long time ago for Miranda, but this is a strong category, isn't it, Sharon?
Yeah. It's going to be a really tough one. Of all the years to go for it, it's probably a bad year for her to go, because again, and then up in scripted comedy, Chewing Gum was again up against Peter Kay's Car Share and The Peep Show and People Just Do Nothing. Those female characters, though, they're also. But I'm so pleased for Sian and Car Share being up there, because it was. I think she gave a lovely interview once saying, I had no idea why she said. I always said to him, why don't you just choose Sheridan Smith? And you knew it was going to work. But it was such a beautifully written and acted series. It's a tough category.
Her story's amazing, because before she did this with Peter Kay, she got an email out of the blue, and she was working in a call centre in Wales, had given up on acting completely.
They were all
uni friends, and he calls her up out the blue, and all of a sudden she's nominated for BAFTAs. It's an amazing story.
There, she's in a lot of his work. When you go through, always there we go. So two mates. There you go. Back on the BAFTA stage. There you go.
But the contrast there between the two newcomers, Sian and Michaela, and then the two veterans,
Yeah,
the
Miranda
grizzled
and Sharon.
veterans.
I'm sure Sharon
I
would love to
wouldn't,
be
yeah,
called
I
a
wouldn't
grizzled veteran,
describe
Mike.
Sharon as grizzled.
I'm surprised Catastrophe isn't elsewhere, actually,
Yeah.
because I just thought, again, that was just such a brilliant series. It's straight up there for watching, but good to see that one nomination. She was fantastic.
Well,
in
let's
it.
look at the
Even
others.
grizzled.
So the scripted, even grizzled.
I'll take that back.
The scripted comedy nominees are Chewing Gum, the aforementioned, from Michaela Cole, Peep Show, the last ever series of Peep Show, People Just Do Nothing, which is the brilliant BBC Three comedy, and Peter Kay's Car Show. They're, again, incredibly contrasting selection, isn't it, Alexia? Do you have any strong views about that category?
I think Peter Kay's Car Show was brilliant and obviously really, really deserves to be there. Peep Show was the final series and people enjoyed that and it kind of came to quite a satisfying end. And Chewing Gum was kind of very different and fresh. So, yeah, it's quite a mixed bag.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah. Let's talk about, this is an intriguing category. Comedy and entertainment comedy and entertainment programs, give it its full title. Oh no, sorry, entertainment program I want to talk about. Comedy and entertainment program is things like Would I Lie to You, QI, Have I Got News for You, and Charlie Brooker, Election Wipe. But entertainment program, Adele has been nominated.
I think she's nominated for everything now, isn't she?
Yeah, yeah.
And she automatically
Even
wins
if she's
it.
not on television.
So not content with Oscar nominations for Sky. In fact, she won, didn't she, for Skyfall? And obviously she gets Grammys and all of those things.
Yeah.
And Brits. She's now going to be, hopefully, she'll be at the BAFTAs, and she's up against an incredible contrast. Britain's Got Talent. It's the first time that's been nominated for quite a few years, actually. Strictly, and that TFI Friday anniversary special,
Which was wonderful.
Yeah.
That was just like reliving. Again, it's
Yeah.
this
Like,
thing
this
that
is
nostalgia.
England,
Yeah, and
Yes,
everyone was there. The
40
same
something.
production
Yeah.
team put back together, and I think he absolutely proved, didn't he, Chris Evans, how well he can command a live show. When he came on, it was just that there you go. He's there.
They've
He's
never
such a
been away,
fantastic
haven't they?
head.
It's,
No.
absolutely fabulous.
What was it about the Adele show, particularly, do you think, that's got it a BAFTA nomination?
She's just become such an icon and everyone is so intrigued by her because she doesn't give that many interviews. She kind of had disappeared for ages and then she came back with this album, went straight to #1 and everyone just wants to know more about her.
And it was more than just a music show, wasn't it? There was a kind of sketch with
inside.
all the
Yeah.
lookalikes. That was very
Oh,
clever.
the drag queen lookalike.
Yeah.
She's like that everyday girl, the girl who lives next door, apart from the fact she's a billionaire and massively successful and wins every award going. But she does have that sort of quality to her where you do feel like you could be a best mate. And actually, I think that's what that show did for her, just seeing her having a laugh. Every time she does those things where it's something a little bit unusual, putting herself in it, she comes across so brilliantly. And it was such a brilliant way of staging a comeback, you know, rather than just a straight album launch, let's go and do a chat. Let's do something a little bit unusual.
Instead of just being on Graham Norton's sofa, she kind of had this whole production done around her,
With
which
drag
adds to that kind of aura
Absolutely.
But again, it reinforces what a great interviewer Graham Norton did as well.
Yeah,
How he
he
gets
was
the best
brilliant,
out of his subjects. I mean, it's absolutely fabulous. And hopefully on the night she will perform, maybe.
Oh.
Well, you're putting it out there.
Yeah, that's
she might be busy.
That's a challenge to BAFTA.
I'm not sure if BAFTA have thought of that before. But maybe ask.
I think they'll be turning their attention
maybe
to
ask.
it, definitely. Yeah. Let's talk about the very important Radio Times Audience Award, which, as I said, so there was a media panel which were all on, of, I think 12, was it? 12 TV critics / experts.
Giant fight.
And we sifted through all the biggest, most popular shows of the year, and then we whittled it down to this list of 6. And now, real people out there can vote
Real
for what they.
Real people.
Real people out there can vote for this. It's a very interesting and diverse case. So, Dr. Foster, The Great British Bake Off, Humans, Making a Murderer, which is the Netflix show, Peter Kay's Car Show, and Poldark. So Poldark's is in this category as a very.
But I think that's a very populist
Yes.
thing to represent because I think people absolutely loved it and they liked him in it and it made him a star. So I think it's good that it's been recognised somewhere.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think in the Audience Award, we're also looking for the shows that people were talking about, shows that said a real buzz. Not saying they're not the best, but they're the ones that got everyone talking.
Yeah.
On a Sunday morning, you were coming in from the weekend saying, did you see Paul Dog? You hear people on the train talking about Making a Murderer. It's been a real sort of growing hit. Humans was probably a younger audience, but a very popular on there. The Great British Bake Off is watched by something like 13, 14 million people. I mean, it's incredible to see so many people watching baking.
The Bake Off has been on there every single year. So every like the last.
But it's getting bigger as well. Every year we think,
Britain's
it's
not
not, surely some, people aren't going to carry on watching the show. And it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger
Yeah.
and bigger. And then Dr. Foster again, as I said before, a very unusual take on an affair drama, which again people were talking about. So that's what I think about.
Sharon, do you have one of these that you're championing more than the others?
Well, I think it's got to be Peter Kay, just for the speeches, if nothing else. But hopefully, I think what we try to do is say, well, let's try and do something for everything. So there's great drama, there's great real life with Making a Murderer. There's something that's made you laugh. There's something with very sexy men with their shirt off, also brilliantly written. And then, as you say, the sort of Humans, which was for the possibly a younger audience. So it's kind of, let's have a bit of a mix of factual drama, just to show there's really good reach of telly out there that is keeping us all glued to the screens. But we might have it completely wrong, which is why we want people to sort of, this is the only bit, because quite often you can look at all the nominations and go, what's that doing there? Where's my favourite show? So it is the one bit where you can actually vote and say, that's the one that I enjoyed most.
Yeah, it's the only BAFTA voted for by members of the public, so it's very important that you go out there and vote. And let's mention Graham Norton is returning as the host of the BAFTA TV Awards. And he's also been nominated. So this is the 10th time he's hosted the awards.
Awkward.
And he's got his 14th nomination since going back to So Graham Norton and the Graham Norton shows have passed. And he's been nominated again this year in the entertainment category for the Graham Norton show. So it's good times for Graham. And the Graham Norton show keeps giving, isn't it? It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Absolutely. How many would he have won if Anton Deck hadn't been around? He would have swept the board every year. But he's his show on a Friday night, guaranteed entertainment, the biggest stars. You know, to see them as the most relaxed you see them in any chat show, saying things and doing things you wouldn't think they would do.
So he's up against, just for your FYI, in the entertainment performance category, Lee Francis for Celebrity Juice, Romesh Ranganathan for Asian Provocateur, which was on BBC, was very funny, and Stephen Fry, the legend, for QI, this is last year for QI, of course.
He's left now, hasn't he?
This is a big battle. Do you have a favourite in there, Sharon?
Well, I'm slightly cross at Lee Francis because he did me once. He'd been on show. No, his will possibly be the best speech. Again, Lee Francis on stage. There is that moment, isn't there, where Graham Norton reads out the nominations and has to sit there with a slightly sad face, waiting to see if he's won or not. Like you say, it's always a joy. That's what I think. There's so much joy on his chat show. Every single week, you guaranteed you're going to sort of smile at some point with it. And only he would think of, let's get a giant otter and make Benedict Cumberbatch.
It's just the way the interplay between all of the people on his sofa,
perfect.
how he balances that out and kind of juggles that is
you do feel
incredible
like you've just
every
been
week.
for a night in with them. But Stephen Fry, maybe this will tempt him back to Twitter if he wins. Come on, back to our shores. Come back to England, Stephen. We love you. What you're doing over there.
And good to see Romesh Ranganathan. I'm a huge fan. He's a brilliant stand-up comedian. This was where he went back to his roots. It was a great series. Did you enjoy that series, Alexia?
I've got to admit, I didn't see it. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Watch it.
But I did see him on the Science Show.
Oh, yes.
And he is kind of making a transition into presenting, and I think he's really he's quite a nice, warm person, and I actually really enjoyed him on that. So
good.
And look, it's beaten Anton Deck. Anton Deck, aren't they? Which is just a minor miracle because they usually win.
They won it last year. So.
Snatch.
Looking through before we wrap up, looking through them in general, do you want to pick out anything we haven't mentioned yet, Sharon? Any kind of
soaps? Can I just
cool.
say?
How could I? Apologies, you are queen of the soaps. You actually write soap operas, so this is go on.
I know. I'm really pleased because the two of them on the nomination period that I've been working on. It was EastEnders is there. This, of course, will cover the fabulous live week. I said live episode. They made him do a whole week, poor things, with the Lucy Beale reveal. So EastEnders is nominated. Emmerdale, thank you, panel, because it normally gets snubbed every single year. So delighted to see Emmerdale there, not just because I work there, but because I think it's been an absolutely brilliant year of drama.
Mike, do you want to pick out anything?
I think the international category, I think, finally a nod, or hopefully an award for The Good Wife.
Oh, yes.
Recognise, I mean, I was a late arriver to The Good Wife, but then sat and watched sort of 6 series in a row. Absolutely fabulous. Again, finishing this year, the last series.
Is that the one where I don't want to do a spoiler.
No.
Is that series? No, sorry.
Lots of things. No, that was the previous series. I know what you mean.
So that was 4. We just had this is for 5, and we're just going on to 6.
But to mention, it's up against The Good Wife in international subs. It's Narcos, which was amazing on Netflix, Spiral on BBC 4, and Transparent, which was amazing on Amazon. So this is also showing now, it's not just about network television. It's about Amazon. It's about streaming services. This definitely reflects in this category.
Absolutely.
I love Transparent. I thought it was incredible.
And also you've got as you said, you've got Netflix, you've got American, you've got French, showing that international
is absolutely brilliant.
I mean, this used to just be a US-dominated category, but now it's and sort of Sky Atlantic, but now you've got and Netflix. If you haven't seen these, I mean, these are great shows to get. And if you've got a spare couple of weeks, The Good Wife.
Yes.
6 series.
And Alexia, anything you want to pick out before we...
Reality and constructed factual.
Oh, yeah.
I love that category.
Yeah.
First dates, which I absolutely love this year.
Yeah.
Fred is brilliant. The warmth of that programme is just overwhelming, and I've loved it. I've loved it this year, so I really hope that
That's
it
the
wins that
category
category.
we all really watch, isn't it?
That's all the guilty pleasures. This
Yeah,
is what's really on
exactly.
our Sky Plus.
Yeah.
I want to mention Jack Thorne, the writer, who's been nominated for
Oh,
3
indeed.
different writing
Amazing,
awards.
yeah.
Absolutely incredible, and he is an incredible talent. Well, that's it. I think we've kind of discussed as much as we can of the main categories. Thanks very much to my fantastic panel. And just a reminder, if you want to vote for the Radio Times Audience Award, go to radiotimes.com/BAFTA and vote for your pick out of those 6 nominees. And of course, the House of Fraser British Academy Television Awards themselves will take place on Sunday the 8th of May at the Royal Festival Hall in London, and they'll be on BBC One, hosted by Graham Norton. And if you want to see exclusive live streaming of the red carpet, go to BAFTA's YouTube channel, and there'll also be exclusive behind-the-scenes backstage interviews. Thanks very much.
Well, let's get to it. So, the nominations for Entertainment Programme are Adele at the BBC, Britain's Got Talent, Strictly Come Dancing, and TFI Friday Anniversary Special.